Look at Faustino's face. He can hardly believe the game, the double rook sacrifice he's just rendered on the board. Kasparov can't believe it. The entire chess world is talking about nothing else. He's a chess prodigy from Argentina, just 12 years old, and his opponent, kicking off with pawn e4 here, is Lu Miaoyi. She is a Chinese chess prodigy, 15 years old or maybe 16. It was hard to find out. Apologies if I pronounced the name wrong there. She's also incredible, and these guys met earlier last year, played the same opening as this that they now play at Tata Steel Challengers Tournament in the Netherlands. I mean, this is a mind-blowingly good game by two young teenagers. In fact, Faustino's 12. He's not even a teenager. This is nuts. It starts with a horse box here. Now we see bishop b5. And this has a reputation for being a bit boring, right? Knight d4 is very respectable, bishop b4, but this, a bit more ambitious, bishop d6. Now it covers the central pawn, but it looks like the move of an amateur, because you block the pawn here, and how are you getting this guy into the game? It's risky. d3, this is the game they played together last year. Bishop g5 is very fascinating. I did a lot of clicking, but black can survive. This is the game. h6 now stops any of those ideas, and we get the immediate bishop a4. This is deep chess, right? Voluntarily dropping back, preparing to remaneuver somewhere one day. Rook e8's now played, and you can slow play this position. h3, a3. Bishop b3 is what Lu played when they previously met. Black's going to follow up bishop f8, and then you can unleash the d-pawn. But in this game, knight d5, changing the character completely, because after captures, pawn takes back, Faustino now drops back to e7, and he's on his own at this point. I watched his after interview, all the lines, it's all to come. If you want to go down the rabbit hole, by the way, on this fascinating opening, do use Lotus Chess. The link is in the description, free to get started. There is no better opening app for learning an opening, offbeat or regular, doesn't matter. It's so good. It will show you all the crushing lines. Let's crack on here. What if c4, defending the center? Then the move is c6. Let's not get lost here. In the game, there was pawn d4. e4 is the best follow-up, but it's really not obvious. After knight e5, there are sacrifice ideas if black takes on d5 with their knight, because then queen h5 checks coming. So much stuff, right? This is the game. We'll stick with it. Queen d4, clearly the best move. It activates, it centralizes, it looks at the king, it could switch to g4, and this knight's really doing a good job on e5. This was the game though. Now it also makes a ton of sense, because you're headed for f5, and it's why black can't win this pawn. We're in the back cave, knight f5, and the queen hits the knight, and you can't go c6 or you lose a bishop. And if you move somewhere, then of course you can mangle the structure. Now there's one only a mother could love. This guy entombed, and so is the rook, and so on. So no takes from Faustino. He plays pawn to c ships, good move, and c4 supports the center. Much better pawn structure. Don't take, don't help your opponent's development. Now Faustino's got a choice, and he really thinks for a while here. Do you go knight g6? Then there's knight f5 and d6. Do you put the queen on c7, but just h3? And then what? This is everything he was talking about. b5 even thought about. Pawn sacrifice, then c5. He came up with this. Is it too passive? Can he survive? Because queen h5, seriously aggressive, right in the danger zone. Not actually the best move. You know, the old principles are often the best. Start developing the pieces. But this is how Lu played here. But it does give Faustino time to rotate around with his knight, as he does. And although knight f5 is looking super scary, Kasparov's absolutely purring, loves a knight on that square, you can defend with queen f6. The threat here, by the way, say you play a random move, is d6. That's strong to start with, but let's go with this one first. And after takes, then you can crash through queen or bishop. Let's say like this. There's bishop g5 ideas. You know, this has to come. And there could be mating ideas. There's a lot going on. d6 could have been chucked in earlier when the knight was on f5. So you have to be careful. It's why this is a prudent defense. Now we see bishop d2. And this is the first star move of the game. 2 more brilliant sacrifices to come though. It's just a nuts one. Rook e5. Faustino's in great shape. Strong muscles for a 12-year-old. Rook lifts hard. And if bishop c3, we must ask the question. Then bang. Take my queen, as you were threatening to do. I take yours. I'm going to eat here. So you retreat. And black emerges a knight ahead. And you're going to crash through here, just for good measure. So there's no good playing bishop c3. The line doesn't work. So bishop c2, good move. Holds the knight. That was the threat as well, to take that piece. d6 opens up the triple whammy on the knight. You can't move the knight, or you lose your queen. So therefore, the only move here to stay in the game, pawn g4. It's an incredibly tense, complex position. You've weakened your king, but secured your knight. However, this is a monster square. It's a big reason why bishop c3 is never really working properly. You hit the queen, and then it can't come to h3 once the knight's on f4. Can it come here? Yes, technically, because the knight supports. But white's in some risky territory here. Thin ice. Takes was played. Pawn recaptures. Bishop d7. And it's a bishop box. You just don't see it every day. A bishop tangle, if you will. We love to see it. Board shaking. We enter that parallel universe once more, where Hikaru and Hans Niemann are the best of friends. It's just beautiful to see. What was played here will not bishop c3. Let me give you a quick sample. Knight hits queen. Now you can take here, but then there's a couple of good moves. Faustino was looking at this one. There's check, and the idea here is that you're threatening this mate stuff, you know, with bishop first, and then there's a classic motif where you mate on f7. But you can check, and you can back up. You check first so that when you go queen g7, you don't lose your knight on f4. And this is how the game could proceed. Black's a bit better. It's a game. It's different. It wasn't played. Let's stop there. We did not see bishop c3 for those reasons, right? The bishop stays with the f4 square. We saw rook ad1. Again, not the best. Challenging the file was best. Fausti now doubles those rooks, 10 points of pressure barreling down, and bishop b5's on the way. If you can exchange everything on e1, there's queen takes b2 ideas. Real problems now for white, so queen h3 is the best move. You step away from these kind of queen trappy ideas. Now if knight f4, at least you find a home on f3 with the queen. What to play here? Excellent, quiet. Bishop b6, just a powerful move. You activate, you clear the c file, you x-ray the king. Best move for white is queen g3. I didn't look at the details of why. I guess a micro improvement of the queen and cover the f4 square. But in the game, we saw the move pawn a4. And it's the first one that gets the double question marks of doom. I guess Lou's been watching too much Epic Cheese. I talk about pushing these rook pawns if you don't know what to do, but sometimes it's a very bad move. And this is the punishment. Faustino said, rook c8 is probably not that good actually. In the interview afterwards, turns out it's the best move. Top of the engine. Now there's some intuition for you. And again, if bishop c3... Let's just show this. You allow the knight to hop. Long story short, this dark squared grip is always worth a rook. Let's say something like this. And here you don't even give an exchange. And still black's just killing it. h5 can undermine this knight. There's a pin. You know, it's a collapse. So in the game, queen d3, bishop b1 was much better. And Faustino's completely winning. But only if you execute a double insane sacrifices. He starts with the move. Rook takes on f5. Kasparov absolutely loves it. This is why this game touched him. There's another one to come. I should clarify, this isn't the only winning continuation. There were other great moves. You could have played h5 there, for example, undermine the pawn. This is the cleanest, the coolest. Knight e5's now on the board. The queen has to give ground. And now the second. Double brilliancy. Can you see the move? Rook takes on c2. The entire playing hall is shaking at this point. No one can quite believe what we're seeing from a 12-year-old. Double exchange sacrifice. This kid is nuts. He hits the queen. She moves again. I mean, how many times now? She's like the board punching bag. Poor old girl. Now we see bishop e4 and it cuts across the king. And here's the kicker. Look at this monster sniper. I had someone in the comments asking me, what do we mean by bishop pair, that kind of thing. This is what we mean by the pair of bishops, the power, the lasers, both color complexes, so you can't play f3. And if you try some bishop e3 stuff, I mean check, and mated on g2. So this is why queen g3, try and fight against some of these mate ideas. But anyway, check, and resigns. Why? You have to step somewhere into the windmill of the bishop. Let's go and pick up a bishop quickly. Check. Now, if the king steps, you get killed. If f3, which is the most staunch defense, then you can take here. Now you're hitting a queen, so no time to take the bishop. So rook takes, and you're about to hit the queen here. But now you can check. No rook f2. This bishop's on the square. So let's say king h1, and now you can simply take a pawn. And still your monster laser snipers persist. What to do? You could take here, but then you can play queen e2. Hit a loose rook, so there's no time to take here, and you're crashing through, and the checks won't help you. You just run away. It's a lost game. That was only 27 moves, but so rich, so beautiful. I felt like we had to take our time there. Hope you loved it. Have a look at Lotus Chess if you want to go deep on this bishop d6. Fantastic, interesting line. Links below in the description. And if you want some more incredible chess from Faustino Oro playing Magnus Carlsen, what a game that was. Have a look at the video on screen here. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers.